Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Melbourne. The Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Melbourne is a Latin Rite metropolitan archdiocese in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Erected initially in 1847 as the Diocese of Melbourne, suffragan diocese of Archdiocese of Sydney, the diocese was elevated in 1874 as an archdiocese of the Ecclesiastical Province of Melbourne and is the metropolitan for the suffragan dioceses of Sale, Sandhurst, Ballarat, and the Ukrainian Catholic Eparchy of Ss Peter and Paul. The Archdiocese of Hobart is attached to the Archdiocese for administrative purposes. St. Patrick's Cathedral is the seat of the Archbishop of Melbourne, currently Peter Comensoli, who succeeded Denis Hart on 1 August 2018. According to the 2006 Commonwealth Census figures, there were 4,932,423 people within the province. Of these, 1,349,828 were Catholic, about 28% of the population. History. When Melbourne, then called the Port Phillip Settlement, and the surrounding area was being settled by European settlers in the 1830s, the area was a part of the Roman Catholic Ecclesiastical Province of Sydney in the Archdiocese of Sydney. In 1839, John Polding, the Archbishop of Sydney, placed Patrick Bonaventure Geoghegan in charge of the Port Phillip settlement, and the first Mass was celebrated in Melbourne on Pentecost Sunday, 15 May 1839. The entire population of Port Phillip in 1841 was 11,738, and the Catholics numbered 2411. The oldest surviving Catholic church in Victoria, St. Francis Catholic Church, was built in 1841. The Diocese of Melbourne was created in 1848 out of territory of the then Sydney Archdiocese, with James Alipius Gould as its first bishop. The Catholic population of the colony was 18,000 in 1851 and had grown to 88,000 by 1857 as a result of the gold rush. James Gould was also instrumental in setting up many Catholic schools in the diocese and in introducing several religious orders devoted to education and works of charity, including the Society of Jesus, the Christian Brothers, the Sisters of Mercy, the Good Shepherd Nuns, the Presentation Sisters, the Faithful Companions of Jesus, and the Little Sisters of the Poor. When Gould was appointed Bishop of Melbourne in 1848, St. Francis Church became the cathedral church of the new diocese. Construction of a new church on Eastern Hill in East Melbourne commenced in 1858, to be called St. Patrick's Cathedral. Construction of the cathedral was not completed until 1939. On 30 March 1874, the dioceses of Sandhurst, comprising 4 parishes, and Ballarat were formed out of territory of the Diocese of Melbourne, with it becoming a metropolitan archdiocese of the Ecclesiastical Province of Melbourne and responsible for Sandhurst and Ballarat dioceses as suffragan dioceses. The suffragan diocese of Sale was similarly formed on 26 April 1887 out of the archdiocese. Under Gould's successor, Thomas Joseph Carr, additional teaching orders were introduced to the archdiocese, including the Marist Brothers, the Sisters of Charity, the Sisters of St. Joseph of the Sacred Heart, the Sisters of Loreto, the Sisters of St. Joseph, and the Sisters of the Good Samaritan. In 1887, 11,661 pupils attended Catholic schools of the archdiocese, and that number had grown to 25,369 by 1908. The Catholic population of the archdiocese, according to government census returns of 1901, was 145,333. Until the mid-20th century, the Catholics of the archdiocese were almost all Irish or of Irish origin, when expansion of the migration programs saw the arrival of non-Irish Catholics from continental Europe. The priesthood was exclusively Irish till the early part of the 20th century, when training of native-born priests began. Ordinaries. The following individuals were Archbishops of Melbourne, with one being a cardinal while in office as Archbishop, as well as having civilian honours. Their highest title is shown here. Auxiliary Bishops. Current Auxiliary Bishops. The Archbishop of the Archdiocese, Peter Comensoli, is assisted by several auxiliary bishops. Terence Curtin, Northern Region, appointed Bishop 7 Nov 2014. There are also emeritus auxiliary bishops. Hilton Deacon, Eastern Region, appointed Bishop 30 Dec 1992. Peter John Elliott, Southern Region, appointed Bishop 30 April 2007. Monsignor Greg Bennett was appointed Vicar General and Moderator of the Curia of the Archdiocese in February 2012. Former auxiliary bishops. Arthur Francis Fox plus 1956–1967, appointed Bishop of Sale. Lawrence Patrick Moran plus 1964–1970. John Neil Cullinane plus 1967–1974. Thomas Francis Little plus 1972–1974, appointed Archbishop here. John Anthony Kelly plus 1972–1986. Eric Gerard Perkins plus 1972–1991. Joseph Peter O'Connell plus 1976–2006. George Pell 1987–1996, appointed Archbishop here, future Cardinal. Peter Joseph Connors 1987–1997, appointed Bishop of Ballarat. Denis James Hart 1997–2001, appointed Archbishop here. Joseph Angelo Gretsch plus 1998–2001, appointed Bishop of Sandhurst. Mark Benedict Coleridge 2002–2006, appointed Archbishop of Canberra-Goulburn. Christopher Charles Prowse 2003–2009, appointed Bishop of Sale. Mark Stewart Edwards, OMI 2014–2020, appointed Bishop of Wagga Wagga. Bishop Tim Costello, SDB, was appointed as an auxiliary bishop on 30 April 2007, with responsibility for the northern region of the Archdiocese. On 20 February 2012, Pope Benedict Roman XVI elevated him to Archbishop of Perth, Western Australia. Bishop Les Tomlinson was the auxiliary bishop for the Eastern region. He was appointed auxiliary bishop on 5 May 2009 and continued until he was installed as Bishop of Sandhurst in March 2012. Bishop Vincent Long Van Nguyen, OFM Conv, was the auxiliary bishop for the Western region and former Assistant Superior General for the Conventual Franciscans for Asia and Oceania. He was appointed auxiliary bishop on 20 May 2011 and continued until he was appointed Bishop of Parramatta on 5 May 2016 and installed on 16 June 2016. Bishop Mark Stewart Edwards, OMI, was the auxiliary bishop for the Western region, having been appointed Bishop 7 Nov 2014. He was appointed Bishop of Wagga Wagga on 26 May 2020. Other priests of this diocese who became bishops. James Moore Plus, appointed Bishop of Ballarat in 1884. James Francis Corbett Plus, appointed Bishop of Sale in 1887. Joseph Shield Plus, appointed Bishop of Rockhampton in 1912. Patrick Phelan Plus, appointed Bishop of Sale in 1912. John Barry Plus, appointed Bishop of Goulburn in 1924. James Patrick O'Collins Plus, appointed Bishop of Geraldton in 1930. Romuald Denis Hayes, SSC Plus, appointed Bishop of Rockhampton in 1932. John Joseph Lonergan Plus, appointed Bishop of Port Augusta in 1938, did not take effect, apparently because of his death. Matthew Bayovich Plus, appointed Archbishop of Adelaide in 1939. Patrick Francis Lyons Plus, appointed Bishop of Christchurch, New Zealand in 1944. Bernard Denis Stewart Plus, appointed coadjutor Bishop of Sandhurst in 1946. Ronald Austin Mulcairns Plus, appointed coadjutor Bishop of Ballarat in 1968. John Aloysius Morgan Plus, appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Canberra and Galburn in 1969. Leo Morris Clark Plus, appointed Bishop of Maitland in 1976. Joseph Eric Darcy Plus, appointed Bishop of Sale in 1981. Luke Julian Matthews, appointed Bishop of Armidale in 1999. Gregory Charles Bennett, appointed Bishop of Sale in 2020. Other information. There are 232 parishes in the Archdiocese and 369 diocesan priests and 16 permanent deacons. The Archdiocese has a total of 294 priests and 1 permanent deacon in religious orders, 199 religious brothers, and 1323 religious sisters. There is 1 seminary for diocesan clergy, Corpus Christi College, and 3 seminaries for religious clergy. There are 331 Catholic schools in the Archdiocese, 256 primary, 69 secondary, and 6 special schools. According to the 1998 census, there were 136,387 students enrolled in Catholic schools in the Archdiocese, 77,636 in primary schools and 58,751 in secondary schools. Within the Archdiocese, there are 10 Catholic hospitals, 18 homes for children, 27 for the elderly, and 10 for other purposes. Sexual abuse cases. Cases of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church have come to light in recent years involving the Archdiocese of Melbourne, as well as many regional Catholic jurisdictions, both in Australia and around the world. Archbishop Denis Hart was cross-examined for 3 hours at the parliamentary inquiry over documents sent to the inquiry by victims and whistleblowers within the Archdiocese. Hart regretted the slow start made in the process of resolving complaints and investigating instances of abuse, but stood by what they did since 1996 nevertheless. The inquiry's report was due to be delivered to the Victorian Parliament in September 2013. In May 2020, newly disclosed portions of the Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sexual Abuse report, which was originally published in redacted form in December 2017, revealed that priests and clergy staff accused of abusing children within the Archdiocese of Melbourne were sometimes dealt with by being transferred to other parishes.